Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Gunner Fan TV. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. Hopefully, your week is about to get better because Arsenal plays Forest tomorrow at home at the Emirates, and we are expecting nothing less than a victory. So let's get into our match preview for tomorrow. Arsenal against Forest at home. Listen, the big news is and Pogakosklou. Freaking butchered his name just now, bro. I'm keeping this in. I'm not editing this at all. And Pogakosklou. My lord, bro. Why am I slaughtering his name? Let's get the pronunciation right. And Postakoglu. There you go. Yeah, I'm not deleting this. I might edit it. I don't know. I'm shameless. So Postacoglu is coming in tomorrow for Forest. He's going to be the man sitting on the side tomorrow for Forest. We're used to seeing him on the yo, I tell you, bro, you pronounce that man's name for nothing. So we're used to seeing Edge sitting on the rival side, which is Tottenham, right? He used to be Tottenham's coach a couple months ago before he got let go. He did win them the Europa. And then, I mean, honestly, man, he was destined to go because his run of form was crazy. I think they lost like 22 games or something like that last season. So there's no way he was going to keep his job. So even though he won them the Europa, which was like their first really major title in years, they still decided on letting him go. So now he's with Forest after they released Nuno after he had a falling out with the ownership and he came on freaking live TV and he just aired everything out, bro. I mean, I guess he knew he wanted to go. He wanted to go, and this was his way of getting out. So he did that. And now Ange is in charge. So for tomorrow, it could be one of two things, man. It could be we lose miserably, or we just it's gonna be like a goal drubbing for Forest, right? So it's a thing called new manager bounce, and that might be expected tomorrow because when this happens, right, the players, they see a new manager come through the door and they want to impress right away. So they're going to be motivated. They're going to have something extra in the tank. They're going to have something to prove to the manager just to show him that, listen, I'm your guy. And when you need me, I am here. And that happens all the time with every new manager. So we should expect that tomorrow. And Mikel Arteta should be planning for this. We do have injury concerns. As everyone know, William Saliba and Bukayo Saka is injured. William Saliba did train with the team today, according to Mikel Arteta at the press conference. However, Saka should be out for another maybe 2 weeks or a week. He should be ready for the City game, or if not the City game, then he should be ready for the Newcastle game. But listen, I don't think they should be rushing these guys back anyway. We have people who could step in, right? We have capable soldiers to come in and fall into this formation and make it work. We saw last game where Mascara came in and he deputized for Saliba, who came off early in that game, and he didn't skip a beat. The man looked good. Pause. That's wow. Yeah, he played well. Yeah, he played well in that position next to Gabriel, and he didn't skip a beat. So honestly, in a game like this, playing against Forest at home, I think he's more than capable to play in that position next to Gabriel. So honestly, he would be my obvious start in that game. But even with the injury concerns, we still have Madueke who played well in the recent international break. He should be deputizing for Saka. So despite what's going on, despite the injuries and all that, and to be fair, Forest does have an injury too. I think one of their key defenders pulled a hamstring muscle on international duty. But I don't think that should really hinder their lineup much. I'm only tracking one injury so far, but everything else should be as it was Um, with the only difference being, the new coach coming in. Excuse me. So, so my lineup for tomorrow is pretty simple, and I think most of you would agree the back four with with the change, which is Saliba, Mascara, Gabrielle, Timber, and Calafiori, he's done pretty decent so far in that position. I do feel for Skelly a little bit. He wasn't he wasn't featured in the last game for England, right? I don't even want to use the word dropped from the team because I don't think he was dropped. I just think he was left out because they wanted to give a debut to Jed Spence, right? So I think that was more of what happened. I don't want to really go out here and start saying that he was dropped from the England team, because he played well in the first game, and I just think they wanted to give Jed his opportunity to get an England cap. So I think that's all that was, and there's nothing really much to look into um, as it regards him not being in the team in that particular game, because he did play the first game. But Calafiori does look good, and I would go ahead and give him a start in this game also. Look into the midfield. Again, Zibimende, listen, very consistent for Spain. Still need to see more of him in an Arsenal shirt, but he was pretty good for Spain, and I don't want to really use Spain as the benchmark because Arsenal and Spain are two different teams, and all these players, they play very differently, under the Spanish manager, and Mikel Arteta has a whole different system. So you're not going to get the same kind of play, the same kind of intensity tactically. You're not going to get that structure. You're not going to get anything that Spain is displaying on the day. We're not going to get that from Arsenal because it's two different coaches, two different systems. So we're not expecting that. However, with that being said, he did look good in the Spanish team during the international break, along with Marino. Let's be fair, Marino bagged 3 goals, which was quite impressive on Turkey. And I saw a stream where Turkish was crashing out after they got fist up. I think it was 6 goals to nil or something like that, and he crashed out and went to bed. But big up to Turkish still. Um, yeah, so for me, Zubimende, Rice, and Odegaard, and coming back around again to this whole international thing, which really, if we're gonna be honest, really means nothing. If we're gonna take anything from international games, it's just form, right? If they're coming off a back of a good win or a good performance for their national team, you would expect them to bring that form into the club at the club level, right? So Odegaard, Zubimendi, they all came off a pretty good run of games in the international or during the international break. So you would expect them to bring that form into the at the club level into Arsenal, right? But again, it's neither here or there with that. It doesn't really mean much. It's a whole different system, as I said before, a whole different structure. But for me, Odegaard will start. And I think Arteta, we all know Arteta, he's going to start Odegaard. If Odegaard is fit, Odegaard will play. So that's a given. Um, looking looking to the left, we're gonna have for me, it's gonna be Rice. Um, so Zubimendi, Odegaard, and Rice. I mean, people are still honestly Rice for me is a 6, man. Even for England this week or last week, yeah, in both games, they had him playing like a 8-2, right? Where he was coming forward a lot. I feel like his best position is a 6. If him and Zimmerman plays that double pivot, I think it to me it's going to look better. It's a better fit for Rice, based on his capabilities, based on how he plays. That suits him more if he's playing in a 6 rather than playing in an 8. I feel like he's so restricted over there on the left side. You're not getting you're not getting enough from him. He has so much more to offer. What I'm saying, just more than his deliveries and stuff like that, like coming through the middle. I think that's where he's most effective. But I think again he's going to have him in the 8 because Arteta he's just very stubborn, and he just really doesn't like to change things up too much. When he does change, it's a drastic change. It's crazy, what the drop off is with Arteta. So there you have it. You have Zubimende, you have Rice, and you have Odegaard. In my attack, we're gonna have Madueke again, international duties. He definitely performed really, really well for. Let's not say really, really well. He played well, scored a goal. I think he looked good, very attacking minded. Took the wing backs on, scored a goal in the last game. So listen, I'll give him props for that. He played really. He played. Let me not say really well because some people have a problem with that word. He played well. I think he did play well. So again, him deputizing for Saka, I think that's a no brainer. He played well in the Liverpool game, and I think he's developing in that Arsenal shirt. And I think he's doing okay at that position. Um, on the other side, left side, I think I would have Eze on that side. Honestly, for me, looking at Eze coming on in the Liverpool game, first 2 minutes, first couple of touches, took it past Sabasly, and he looked good. Just his movement on the ball, should have scored. Got an opportunity to score, didn't score. It's the first game. He should have started, didn't start, but I think he should start in this game. Okay. And I think he's ready. Didn't look that sharp in the England game, missed a couple opportunities, should have scored, but I think we judge him based on his ability, and even an average game for him to us looked like a poor game. But I think he had an okay game during the international break. But looking for him to start this week. And, down the middle, we're going to have Gyökeres. So our striker is going to be Gyökeres. I think out of everyone, I think he had the poorest run of play during the international break. I think he was the one who people still had some doubts about, people had questions about, and people were saying that he didn't really perform well throughout the international break. But I think he's still getting into match fitness. I don't think he's 100% fit. I think him having another solid 290 minutes under his belt, I think he did play for 90 minutes in both games. I think he will be looking much better and match sharper coming into this home game for Arsenal. So I expect him to at least score a goal, create some opportunities at minimum in this game coming up. And obviously, we have David Ray in goal. I mean, he's the number one. I don't think he'll be out unless he's injured. Um, so yeah, that's the expectation for me. I mean, over the years, I think we've played off the top of my head the last 10 games. I think Arsenal has won six, and Forest has won three, and I think there was one draw. I think we scored like 23 goals, and Forest probably scored like eight or something like that. So we're known to score goals in this encounter. So it shouldn't be an issue for us going into this game scoring goals. We know Ange, we know how he likes to play a high line. We don't think he's going to be doing that this game because he only had a couple days with the team, to be honest, to prepare. So I don't think he has his influence on this team yet, right? So I think he still needs time to kind of impose his style of play, which we know is the high line of play from Tottenham. That's what what do they call it? High line forever or something like that, or Ange play or Ange ball, something, some craziness like that. But he played that. But listen, I remember in the final against Manchester United, he didn't play a high line. He was more defensive, and they came out with the win, and they won. They won the trophy. So, again, anything could happen. But for us tomorrow, there's only one thing that we need to do. We need to go out. We need to do the job. We need to win. So, listen, guys, tell me what you think about the starting lineup, what your starting lineup would be. If you like mine, let me know. If you disagree, let me know. And as you can see in the title, there's going to be a giveaway tomorrow. I'm at 11 subscribers right now, and I will be giving away a third Arsenal kit for the 20th subscriber. If that happens tomorrow, I will be mailing that to your address or wherever you want it to be mailed. And that will be me thanking my subscribers for sticking with me, for helping me to build this channel, and just me show my appreciation. So I'll see you tomorrow, guys. I'll see you in the game tomorrow. I'll be on at 12 o'clock for the live stream Arsenal against Forest. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.